on behalf of myself and all the players, I want to thank everyone for all the support this season. Obviously last season was difficult, to say the least, but obviously we've shown so much improvement, and without everyone sort of supporting and backing, and we've kept pretty much the same team doing it. So I think just want to, on behalf of all the players, just want to say thanks to everyone for that. Moving on, I know the results are on the pitch, but there's a lot of stuff off the pitch that happens that people don't see, and without them, you know, this club doesn't run, and they don't get the recognition. So, first and foremost, just little things like doing the kit every week, helping out when Bob and Jean aren't here, little things like that. You know, they're only small things, but they make a lot of difference. So, Debs, we've all come together, we've got a little something, so do you want to come up? Secondly to that, you've got the people that actually run the club. Just the fundamentals, like I say, the fact that what Ray was going on earlier, the fact that we are now a club, we're not three separate teams, they help to bring everything together, they help to do all the back, you know, the stuff running in the background of it. You mention it, they do it, and they just want to bring this club forward. Can't thank them enough for everything they're doing, and I think the club's going in a good direction. So, Bob and Jean, we've all come together, we've got a little something as well. A year on it. And then just one final thing for me before I get off here. Like I touched on earlier, last season was, you know, it was a tough season, but without two you guys giving it all every single week, you know, they're doing it as volunteers, doing their best to make sure this team performs at the best possible level they can on, you know, a pretty minimal budget. Brady and Martin, without you guys, we couldn't do this, so we've all come together and got you something as well, so cheers for everything, guys. I'll say to them now. A bag of Haribos.
As the boys just got us a little golf day, and Martin goes, have I got to play with Brady? Oh, bad, bloody hell. Now, obviously, last year we were here and it was a bit doom and gloom and we were struggling. We finished bottom by a mile, but as years go, they are pretty decent. Martin had a little girl. I first passed my first ever college course. Also, me and Jodie found out that we were going to be parents for the first time as well. And also the first thing got promoted, so yeah, pretty good year. So just a few thank yous that me and Martin want to say before. Obviously, everyone's touched on it about the club being so good and everyone helping out, and there's so many people to thank. Obviously, we thank Bob and Jean for sticking by us after last year and giving us a chance to put this team together. So we thank you very much for everything you've done for us. We thank you for Derek, obviously he's not here, for getting transfers through as quick as we can. Also we thank Darren for being a tremendous goalkeeper coach. Turns up week in, week out, sits on the bench telling me how good he is but never wants to go on. Also we've got to thank Gary Crick. Gary does a lot for this club and fully deserved that award he won earlier. So well done, Gary.
Well, Gary.
I'd like to thank Paul Jeffrey for doing the videos and the photos and everything. Paul, that means a lot, pushing the club forward, so thank you as well. Also, we would like to thank Spud, Andrew Lee. If you don't know Spud, he's the one sitting in the corner of the bar. Spud came in as director of football. He helped produce the under-18s, which was a fantastic team. He was part of getting them over. Also, he was part of getting Alex Theobald and Craig Neal and obviously Matty Simpson being at Sarm as well, which helped. So without Spud, he makes my job a little bit easier, so thank you, Spud. Also we've got the physio. He's been here about 60 years. He turns up week in, week out with his sponge and his special tape. Without Vinny, this club wouldn't be the same. So Vinny, thank you very much. Now, we have got one little prize me and Martin want to give out. This bloke, I don't know, he turns up week in, week out. He always has a different shopping bag with him, either Tesco. He's here week in, week out. He brings his bike. He brings the worst bananas you could ever ask for. I think Nathan eats about 6. But yeah, so Tom, I'm gonna come get your reward. That's how bananas should look. We want to touch on the reserves and the under-18s. The under-18s have come in this season. They've been accredited to the club. Like Lenny said, we've used 8 players in the first team, with Luke, Joe and Hookie all making quite a lot of appearances. So it's a credit to you boys for stepping in, not just for us for the reserves, but your attitude on and off the pitch has been fantastic. So well done with the under-18s. Also, the reserve lads turn up week in, week out training. It's been a tough season for you, like Ray said, but you managed to stay up, which is fantastic. But a credit to you, every time me and Martin have asked you to come with us, you've never said no, you've always came in, and that's what the club's all about, so well done, boys. Yeah, going on to the season now. We started the season, the main thing was to keep the 10 players, 12 players we had last season. We thought that was quite crucial for me and Martin, and the boys stayed, which was a credit to them. After last year, some of them could have probably got offers, but they stayed. We added to the team. We brought in Matty, Harry, Alex, Craig, Spencer, Paul Summerskill, and then we added the old timer Jamie Allsop halfway through the season. So with the squad we kept and the added players we brought in, it became a fantastic squad. And to go on and break the City Club record of 14 straight wins is just a massive achievement. And if we want to thank anyone, me and Mark want to thank anyone, it's them boys, because you turn up week in, week out. Well done. Moving on to next year, hopefully, I spoke to nearly all of you this week, hopefully you'll stay, because you boys deserve a shot in the Prem, and like I say, me and Mark will be here again, pre-season, running you, and then you'll turn up hopefully, and we can progress to 14, streak to 15, to 16, maybe even 20, who knows, but well done again, boys. Before I do the trophies, I'll pass over to Martin, because we've got some special awards for the players, so I'll pass over to Martin.
Okay, just touching on what Brady said, it was quite a big thing. Like we said, the 14-game winning streak was very impressive from the lads. We had a massive chat in the change room after a game. I think it was the 5th of December. We lost to Woodbridge away, 2-1. We conceded 2 late goals, and we set the lads a challenge. We said to them, if you want to go out of this league, you need to stop just winning 4 games in a row, because we've got this thing in our heads that we won 4 games in a row, we'd lose our 5th one, or we won 5 and lost the 6th one. We said you need to go on a winning run. You need to do something special to be able to get out of this league. And to credit to them, since that game on the 5th of December, we lost 1 game down here against Yarmouth in probably the worst conditions. We could ever call a game off for wind. that was when it should be called off. And so credit to them, I think it was sort of nearly 50 something, 54 points out of 57 or something like that they got. So just again boys, just a credit to work with, and just all been so fantastic in the second half of the season, what's pushed us on, so well done again. Okay, so just a few things, just for a little bit of a laugh and just some things to reminisce on the season. Got a few little drinks around the corner for each of these. So this year, for those that were here last year, we did a little thing similar. But this year we split it into the good, the bad and the ugly. Okay? So the good, a few of you get a nicer shot, apart from the last two. And the bad and the ugly get the worst ones, okay? So the good, so the most appearances this season, I think we played just over 40 games, so a couple of players have just missed out on a couple. With top appearances, with 40 appearances, was Josh and Griff. So well done boys. Okay, so staying on the good, top scorer, and then we'll also do most assists. So our top scorer this season, lad we signed from Fordham, he got 22 goals, Alex Theobald. And Alex also got top assists, he got most assists with 16 assists, so well done Alex. We see him last week at the races, so I think we'll let him off a little bit. Okay, and then the last one of the good, goal of the season. So a few of you might think you're in contention, but really there was only one. And for those that were there at Kingston away in the new year on the 2nd of January, those that actually witnessed the goal, if only Paul was filming those games then, I think it would be a viral sensation. But Craig Neal, Chester Boy, 20 yards up. Okay, so moving on to the bad. So, the bad. What should we start with? Okay, so the player that made the most appearances without scoring a goal, not counting goalkeepers, is last week's Playboy at the races, Mr. Joe Brady. Okay, so the next one is the player that had to be subbed off the most, for different reasons, not because they were the worst player, but maybe because we had to run them too much, but the player with the stats for the most subbed off was Craig Neal. The hard shift on that left wing. Okay, so next one, we've got a few contenders for this one. Might be cause a few arguments, but miss of the season. So me and Brady spoke about this, and we've obviously had quite a few chances. Ash was close, very close. He come up, but we decided that this lad, he created his chance himself. He'd done so well to put himself in a position, and then to miss was just unbelievable. We just couldn't believe it. Away at Dereham, ran about 70 yards with the ball. He could have been winning goal of the season, but instead he's been missing the season, so 8%. Okay, so moving on to the last one of the bad. So, obviously some of the players have to miss games for different reasons, various things. They come and speak to the managers at training and say why they might have to miss a game, sort of, I don't know, family wedding, important working, or something like that. So this lad came up to us at training one evening and said, sorry, so I've got to miss the game next week, it can't be helped. I've got to go on a geography field trip. me and Brady feel real old and realised how young the players are we're working with. So he also missed another game for a volleyball tournament. So he's guaranteed this one, so Lewis Hook. Okay, so moving on to the ugly. Okay, so most injury prone. So one of our new signings, unfortunately, he might argue he got a bit assaulted in training one training session, but unfortunately he's had a nasty knee injury. He has come back and played quite a few games for reserves and helped them out, I know, quite a lot. And unfortunately in the first team we didn't really get to see his full potential, but most injury prone, Paul Summersgill. He's got one of them, Ash got one of them, Josh got one of them, and James Seymour got one of them. So you three boys, up you come, red cards. And Brady, yeah.
Two thank yous. The first one is for the parents and the fans. Most of our team are about 12, so none of them drive. Oh yeah, hope you well done for passing your test. But no, thank you for the parents and the fans that turn up week in, week out, and not just support me and Martin, the club, but your boys. So you're a credit to yourself. So thank you very much. Also, me and Mark would like to thank Jodie and Danielle as well, because at the end of the day, they have to put up with us on a Saturday if we lose, and then again, miserable and stuff like that. We haven't got you anything this year, Joe, so don't worry. Also, the biggest thank you, obviously I'm the manager and I get a lot of the credit, but there's one person that don't, and that's the bloke standing next to me. Without him, this team wouldn't be where they were, and they know that. Martin turns up, he tries to do a different warm-up that he watches on YouTube when he's at work every week. Without Martin Gray, then EDC wouldn't be where they were, so for all of us, on to the awards, which we were actually here for about not to speak. Last year we done a most improved, we've got rid of that this year. We brought in a Young Player of the Year award, considering there's so many players that are young. So that's 21 and younger, sorry Jimbo. So this was a really, really tough decision for me and Martin, because everyone young has done so well, but the person we give this to, I think, has come in and pushed this team to the max. He's made such a difference since he's been in. I think he's played 26 games, he's kept 12 clean sheets and only conceded 19 goals, so Harry Reynolds. Lenny touched on it earlier, I think that's the most important trophy of the all. So, Manager's Player of the Year. Manager's Player of the Year could have been anyone, really. It's been such a fantastic season, I could have picked any one of you. So we whittled it down to one, and we thought deserved it. This player is probably the biggest moaner in the club. He moans at everything. He played right back for the first 10 games, he moaned about that. He moaned about going centre mid, but then when he did go centre mid, he scored 18 goals. He is our captain, he leads the team on and off the pitch, and me and Martin got it wrong about playing him right back, so we hold our hands up, and well done, James Seymour. Players Player of the Year. I always think it's the most important trophy, because you play with these boys week in, week out. It was close for a start, the votes were close, but in the end he won by 5 votes, and I think if we miss a player, he's the biggest miss when he doesn't play. I think for a 19-year-old, he leads the line so well. With 22 goals and 16 assists at this level, after stepping up 5 leagues, is an unbelievable achievement. So well done, Alex. I'd just like to thank, obviously, everyone for turning up tonight. Hopefully you all enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed the food. Hope you enjoyed the disco. If you want to get really, really drunk, you can. The bar's open until late. So really enjoy your night, and thanks again for a fantastic season. Thank you.